As some of you may or may not know, I'm a novelist. I've written 15 novels. 13 of them have been published. The 14th and 15th are about ready to go to press. But that's neither here nor there, except to say that for the last few days, since I got back from vacation, I haven't felt too much like painting. I've worked a couple of different little things. I worked on this little space binary star system thing, and I painted a little 8x10, but I just haven't been in the mood. But what I've learned from 30 years of being a writer is that you can't wait on inspiration. You have to make inspiration wait on you. So the best way to do that is just keep painting. Whether you're inspired, whether you feel inspired or you don't, keep doing the work, because you got to put the work in. So today we're going to do a couple little things. We're going to do this. I've got this little sketch here for this deer, and I've got some general ideas about what I want to be in the background. We're going to do an underpainting on this, and then if I get that done, I'll probably go back and try to finish the space painting today. And if I get that done, and I'm kind of starting to get in the mood, then we'll do something different. So let's see. So let's get going with this. First I need some burnt umber, though. Here we go. Here's some burnt umber. Here's some burnt umber. I need to start thinking about getting some more of that, though. Although I'll probably have some in smaller tubes. Come on out of there, baby. Got a little bit of a skin on the top. That's weird, but okay. I can still use that. Let's get that. All right. There we go. That ought to be enough. Probably too much. Because we're going to take this. So in doing this underpainting, we're going to use burnt umber to do the whole thing in a style called Brunei. B-R-U-N-E-I, if I remember correctly. I think I remember correctly. Usually pretty good with spelling, since I'm a writer. We're going to underpaint this in this burnt umber Brunei style. And if you've not watched me do this before, I'll give you a quick explanation of what we're going to do. Other than that way. Other than to say we're going to do it that way. We're going to take some burnt umber and some liquid clear type medium. It's about a 50% mixture of linseed oil and mineral spirits. Might not be that much. It might be like 3 parts mineral spirits to 1 part whatever. 1 part linseed oil. We're going to cover all this in. Then, in the next step, we're going to come through and we're going to start removing paint. And then we'll put the darks back in again. And, well, actually, it's kind of going back and forth, that same thing throughout the whole painting. I don't know if I sprayed this. I can't remember if I fixed it or not, because I just don't remember. I wish I had an excuse, but I don't. Other than I just can't remember. Only clear medium, that's for sure. The good thing about this clear medium that I make myself, I can put it in that little cup there. It'll stay in that cup for about 2 weeks without me using it all up. Any solids I get will settle to the bottom and just keep right on using it. I would venture to say I did spray this since the pencil sketch is still there. If the pencil sketch had gone away, then you'd never seen this video. So I just had to start over. All right. So this has got 2 coats of gesso on it, and a pencil sketch. And then I use a Krylon fixative. You can use a cheap hairspray to do that, to fix it. Really what it does is it just protects the pencil sketch from getting brushed away by the medium. All right, here we go. Now, I do have a reference photo, but it's only of the deer's pose. I want to use that pose, but then everything else in the painting will be all original. I'll just have to decide. I put a couple ideas about like literally minor sketches on there about maybe like stick some trees here. Other than that, that's about it. All right, now I don't want to take this clear medium back up to the canvas, so I'm just going to fold this paper, but I don't want to throw the paper towel away either, so we'll just kind of fold this paper towel twice to protect it. Now we're going to use this to wipe this paint back off. And it may look like by the time we get done like we've wiped it all away, but you'll see as we move through this sketch that that's just not true. Just a hope. It all goes well. All right, we're not done with that. Not by far. I'll turn this over because I can't really reach the bottom too well, so we'll just kind of turn this over for a second. You don't have to clean it too much off the bottom because there'll be trees or grass or some kind of landscape in there, so we don't have to worry too much about that. I have to decide if I'm going to underpaint my trees and stuff. I just want to do that. Now, you may get some of these little doodads from the paper towel on your canvas, and if you do, it's no big deal. They'll just brush right off. I'm doing a little extra wiping here around where I think maybe the horizon line will be. One last time. All right. So this will be dry tomorrow. I'll be ready to paint. Although I don't know if I'll be able to paint tomorrow. We'll see. All right. So next we start phase 2, which is like let's kind of work in some of the highlights on this deer. So, and there'll be 2 ways to do that. One, we're going to use some Q-tips. And the second is that we're going to, we'll use a brush, a flat edge brush, and with a little bit of medium. And I'll show you as we get to that part. We'll do that. Now we're just wiping away some of that. So where we want the highlights to be. This is I got a few of these Q-tips left. I bought some off-brand Q-tips thinking that'd be cheaper. And it was cheaper, but they don't work as well as regular Q-tips. So I'll be switching back to Q-tip brand Q-tips here shortly, but probably definitely not on this painting. All right, now a lot of the deer's front face is going to be highlighted because I'm kind of going to have like dawn out this way a little bit. I did forget to wipe that those little napkin balls off, so we'll do that here in a minute. Now we want to leave a little bit of darkness around his eye, but not too much. Not too much. And I actually took a little bit of too much paint off, so let's put a little bit of paint back on. Let's see if I can just put it with a Q-tip. Yeah. Got a little carried away there. Rubbing that off. Yeah, I'm not worried too much about putting the darks back on, but the darks are going to go back up in here. Probably want to paint with a Q-tip, and that's not healthy. I don't think. I don't know. I've never actually done that before, but anyway. Silly Benjamin. But already, and in doing this, you know, not been in the mood to actually paint or get started, already starting to feel, yeah, like I'm into it. So, all right, now there's some brightness around this leg. I got that leg. There's some really dark down in here, but let's just kind of, all right. And I think maybe to get started, that might do to get started. The antlers have got a lot of highlight on them as well, but I want to get them lined in before I get too carried away with cleaning this up. All right, so I'm going to typically, I could use a script liner, but typically I use this little brush right here. This is not the exact one, but it's just like this one. But I don't see the other one right now. So anyway, I'll just start with this one. And maybe we'll switch brushes as we go. We'll see. All right, so we're just going to dip this a little bit in the medium. Let's start outlining this baby. This beautiful fellow. So let's just kind of, I'm using my right hand to kind of steady my left hand. I don't know why that works, I just know that it does for me. Now, if your brush starts to run out of paint, go back and get some more paint. Don't bear down on the brush, which is exactly what I just did. So don't do that. Don't do what I did. That's okay, I can wipe it back away really easy in this underpainting. All right, I gotta stop whispering or you guys won't be able to hear me. I did it again, that's all right. We'll fix it here in a second. Usually when I'm painting this way, I start to get a little concentration going, and I get quieter and quieter. And then later people tell me on the video, I can't hear you. Oh, yeah, I can't hear me either. What we're doing is just kind of narrowing these lines back a little bit. Nothing major. A little bit of medium back to the brush. All right. Just letting that paint flow. Now, these 3 feet are kind of cut off a little bit because he's going to be standing in some grass or maybe a brush pile. If you decide to paint this, feel free. Just if you don't want to have too much brush or stuff in the front, just put his hooves on. You'll be good to go. I took them off. You can put them back on. It's your world. Do what you want to do, right? It's my world, so I did what I wanted to do. So you do the same thing. All right, there we go. So now, what we've kind of established in the values so far are the highlights in the midtone. So that means that this other color that I'm putting on now is going to be the darker tone that we put in. This is a pretty big brush to be painting these thin lines with, but it's always worked pretty well for me, although sometimes I have to turn the canvas so I can see a little better. Just cleaning up these lines. Adding a little bit of fuzziness to that part. All right. Like when I get ready to do this part up here, it actually, helps me orientation wise if I turn the painting around when I'm doing that, because then I know for sure that the angles will be right. I'm ignoring what my brain tells me. I'm following what I've already painted. I mean, sketched. Painted. Following. See, my brain doesn't want to participate in saying that it's been tricked. Sometimes it'll want to tell you something and you'll be like, that don't seem right. And it is right. But your perception throws you off a little bit. So if you sometimes if you turn the painting around a little bit, like this, it changes your orientation and it kind of cancels that editorial talk from your brain. All right. So let's do this now. This is a big, long line. It defines the outside of this stag. And there's a couple turns here that are really tricky. So clean those back up. Smooth those out. And is it tricky to get up close to the deer with this big old Q-tip? Not really. It's not really all that hard. Not really all that hard. There we go. All right. Now he's got, well, that's antler. This antler here is a big one. But I'll tell you what, let's just pick up some more paint here. Let's go ahead and do this curve while we're here. See, my brain right there was like, curve, and it's like, no, it's not time to curve. Because I couldn't see the line. So I just shifted till I could see the line. Then we'll clean that up with a Q-tip. Okay, now his nose is going to be quite dark. He's not Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, so. All right. Getting up a little bit more paint. Finish out the skull area. And then where the antlers are attached. And again, we're just about out of paint. Because I'm picking up so many just itty bitsy bits of paint. So I put a line in there that's not really there, so I took it back out. It's okay, it's a shadow that I mistook for being a line. Okay, let's see what we got here now. Oh, these antlers are going to be They're gonna be They're gonna be something. All right. All right. Let's bring it out. Now I wish I had some way to bring the camera in like ultra close where I could see over my shoulder, but yeah, I'm just a guy, right? I'm not like a professional YouTuber with all these really expensive cameras and studio setups. I'm more interested in painting than I am videoing, but I like to share what I do with people, so I hope you guys can see we clear to still like the channel. Okay. Let's get. Okay, so these are. I may have to try to do it this way. The trickiness that we have here in this antler and the other antler both, but in this particular antler, is that some of the antler extensions, I guess, there's probably like, if we had some hunters on, they could probably tell us whatever. His points are overlapping, which makes it a little bit challenging. Make sure you're keeping them straight as far as which one crosses over which one. All right. Yeah, once again, I keep running out of paint. Now, I'm sure you'll see in a minute when I raise my hand back up that I'm probably picking up paint off of the canvas. Yeah, see that right, a little bit right there. Actually, not too bad though. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Anyways. So I missed that line right there. I don't want to pick up too much paint because then you have to wipe it off again. There we go. That's good. And then we get like a little bit of a shadow in like right here. And then we've got a little bit of shadow like right there. And then, yeah, there's shadow right in here. This part. Okay. All right. Let's stick a couple trees in. I get too carried away, but I do want a bunch of trees. I think I'll switch to my other brush. I usually paint trees with a filbert, but today I'll just use a flat. Where's my flat? Here it is. I think this will be helpful. And then the horizon line's going to be kind of going back like that. And then I want to kind of drop a little cabin or something like that in here. Alright, that'll be fine. Alright, then. And maybe even like a let's do that. There you go, guys. Just a little extra paint for you. Alright, and then let's kind of lead on out of the painting like that. Alright. I'm going to switch. Alright, first I'm going to clean this brush. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. I'll put some brush in here. Alright, I'm kind of happy with enough of that. The rest of it we'll do in color. But let's add a few more branches and stuff like that. Just a few little details. Little details here and there. Here and here. I like to paint my tree branches upside down. I don't know why. It seems easier for me, but Well, this one, this tree is closer, so we're going to have the branch be a little bit bigger. A lot of this stuff will get covered up with leaves and such. Now I think I want to change a couple of things here real quick. I'll turn my filbert and put additional darkness on this side. I kind of get a little free with the brush on this, putting this tree in. So now we're going to just kind of take some of this paint and lighten it on this side, because this will be the highlighted side of the tree. There we go. That looks better. There we go. That's fine. And let's kind of do a little bit of that over here. We don't have to lighten anything, but we do want to darken some things. There we go. And then maybe one more time over here. And we could do this one out here too, just because. Because I almost forgot about that tree. All right. All right, we're going to switch back to branches here in a second. I want these branches out here to be smaller and a little bit fainter than what I've had before. And I don't really need, a crap ton of them out there. Let's finish up this last tree. We need to put a few little doodads in front of it too. All right. Well, our last little pile of paint we had left, so actually we used that up. That's good. And if you look at tree branches, they grow every darn direction. They grow wherever the sun is. They cross over each other, they cross into each other. I made a big study of trees when I used to grow bonsais and learned a lot about trees. What I learned is trees aren't round and puffy and symmetrical and all those other things that people tend to sometimes put in their paintings. They're pretty whacked out. So. A few little spriggy things on the trees, oddball growing things. All right, there we go. All right, guys, there's the underpainting. So Get me started, got me back to working. So hope you guys are having a great day. And if you get stuck, I encourage you to do the same thing. Have a nice day. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.